Today we're working on this 8670 New Holland tractor. And we can see that this bottom cable here broke. We've replaced two other ones, but the bottom one's broke. This tractor, it's got 4 remotes on it. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is just cut the cable in half. It makes it a little easier to get it out of there. Then we got to take this light bracket off here and get it out of the way so we can get at this bottom cable. The other ones, of course, are a little easier to get to. So that's what we're gonna do here. I got the bracket out of the way here for the lights, and then I cut this cable in half here so it's kind of a little bit easier to work with. And then I'm gonna grab a vice grip. This cable's ruined, so grab a vice grip and just turn it out of that housing. Hoping to get away without taking that housing off there. And if I remember right, I did the other one, but it's been a few years ago. I think I can do it. So I did get that part out, but we still you do need to take that off. So we got a extension, and we'll try to get behind there and get that. There's one on a screw on the back, an Allen screw on the back, and then one on the front here. So hopefully they come loose without too much trouble. So I got the Allen screws out, and then this is kind of what we got going on. So we gotta loosen this up here so we can get the cable free on this end. So I pulled the covers off here so you can get at the levers. And there's well, here's on the front one. Where's that here? Right here there's a screw that holds on, a bolt that holds the clamp to hold the remotes. You got to loosen that up, but you can't see it because it's behind this for this last 2 remotes. So I got to loosen that up, and then down in there there's a cotter pin that needs to come off. You can't see it here very well, but there's a cotter pin on the side there that needs to come out, and that's what we're gonna try to get out of there. There, you can just barely see it down in there. Cotter pin, and then there's 2 little washers. They need to come off too, so try not to drop them when you take them out. So I got that off, the cable off of the lever up here, but there's a little bushing here, plastic bushing, and then there are 2 washers on the inside and 2 washers on the outside, as well as a split pin that goes on the end of it, a cotter pin, which of course I dropped, but I'll put a new one on anyway. So just so you know, not to get too crazy in there. And I've done it without taking the top off with the screwdriver, so you may be able to get lucky enough to do that. Otherwise you're gonna have to take this top plastic piece off, which is kind of a pain because it's got a lot of things attached to it. Everything is off of the old one. There is a hole up in there that goes up into the cab. You can just see it there. That's where the cable goes through. So I got the old one out, and I got the new one put back together. Screw this all the way on, put the end back on it, and push the end up into the cab first. So everything's hooked up here on the and for the remote up in the cab. You can just barely see it there, but I put a new cotter pin in there, and then I hooked up, this isn't the bracket on this side, but that's what it looks like. So everything is just kind of flopping around. It's not actually hooked up to the valve down there, but I slid this canister over the top, this bracket over the top, put the jam nut on, and then I'll screw it into the valve. So we got the clevis on. I set the lock nut, and then we got a roll pin we'll put back in to that valve. Just a little trick here is that this is just a collar that slides over this valve holder here, this cable holder. So in order to get it tightened up, adjusted where it should be, you can slide this back so it gets out of the way, so you can get it the same place it was on the old cable before you put the screws in. So I got everything all hooked up, but you'll notice that the lever is back quite a ways, so we need to adjust it down there. So we want it to be in the middle so we can put it in the detent position if we need to, and it's not going to quite make it there right now. Plus it looks a lot better if you can make it look like you know what you're doing when you put stuff together. So in order to adjust that, we loosened up these screws, so then you can turn it, and then turning it, I guess it'd be clockwise, is what's pushing the lever back away from the seat. So everything's put together, the lever's working, it's good. Should be ready to go again. Got to put the covers on, but other than that, she's ready to go.